Where are we? Okay, good. All right, good late morning, everyone. Michael Venezia, head trader at Tradeview Markets. It's a Friday. You know what? And it's a shame because this is one of those times. It's always one of those times. As a matter of fact, how it became one of the reasons why I had the confidence, or vice versa, to come to Tradeview was I traded with Tim, the CEO of Tradeview, for a bunch of years, sat next to shoulder to shoulder. And one of the things he used to remember all the time was, I didn't know I would wind up working with him, as Tim would say. It just, you do the right thing and you trade well, you have a passion, and things happen, as a lot of the employees at Tradeview do. And, if I pontificate before the action, I'm not going to apologize. It's one of the basis and foundations of why I'm here. With that being said, it's a Friday. And I remembered that he used to say, Microsoft going on. I don't like Friday. Fridays were the worst day of the week for me. And the reason being, everybody needs a breath. The markets and the movements don't suffocate me. I happen to also have an empirical side, which allows me to know that, over time, keep doing the things that got me here will keep me to stay here. So it's Friday. You always want more time. You always want more time when the markets get active. Chevron's down 8, Amazon's up 10, Meta's up 9. You know what I mean? Things like that. EMPH now 15. I'll get to the action in a second. Matter of fact, I can go here and once I get off the pedestal. And nerds, is that, it's a Friday. All right. So as I signed into TradeGATEHub, the past videos that I've done with the past week with Coach, and sometimes we joke, sometimes we not. There's a lot of truth to it. I have no problem admitting it. Is that, my trading frames, time frames, targets, if you will, and especially when the VIX is moving a little bit, are less. You know what I mean? So I have tunnel vision now. I'm aware that it's a Friday. I'm aware that there's major geopolitical tensions going on. That's actually, it looks like it's a tug of war right now between earnings, as we have, stocks like Amazon reporting today, and a lot of sexy ones as well. You're going into it, going into the heart of earnings season. You know what I mean? EMPH, Intel, big news. So let's move on. Okay, for me. It's okay. What am I going to do now? For me, it's all about sentiment. You know what? It's obvious. It doesn't matter really with the time frame. It's just I'm going to concentrate on probably I'll have less positions, especially over the weekend. Option flow, volume, and good price action. What does good price action mean? Okay, let's look at good price action. For example, let's go to my screen. Well, let's give a lesson on price action. And for those that know what price in action is, I apologize. Okay, Amazon. Let's look at Amazon today. Reported earnings. There's the daily. Came right off the 200-day, much like Apple did. But you know what? Coach and I had a discussion, and he was right. But we were right. He was right. Pointed out that Apple probably would not hold a 200-day, and he was dead right. By the way, in a big way. Still, by the way, still below. Amazon pulled back. Almost still a similar fashion. Amazon made a later move. What I liked, Apple reacted first. You know what I mean? The Apple corrected, if you want, in July. Amazon, as Coach and I we've been talking about a lot. It wasn't breaching year highs, but Amazon in July was still near the high, as Apple wasn't. So what I liked about Amazon daily is it's later in the cycle. Things are getting hit, i.e., Google. AMD, I don't want to punch up my screen here too much to even go on. EMPH, thank God, which is no surprise following SEDG, same sector in the solars, UGGs, Deckers. I think they make UGGs still, right? UGGs are the North Face. Well, no, actually they make UGGs. The North Face is VFC. Stalling was my J went. This thing's every other stock popped. These retailers, that's what happens when you buy the dog. Macy's still looking decent on the daily. Something's actually, listen, it's not a barn burner, but with these guys going on, with this going on, could it be a reversion to mean? Certainly Coke had a nice pop, things like that. 3M, Minnesota, the miner, actually pulling back a little, but still rotation. Chevron being down $8-9 at one point does it. This is what I believe. You know, when the market is, you know, I don't look at the I look at the Magnificent Seven more for sentiment. Orange pistachio. I look at bigger market cap stocks for like Apple. I look at JP Morgan. I look at Citibank. What else am I looking at? 20%. So, JP Morgan. Okay, let's get back to business. JP Morgan. Okay. Now, I understand that Amazon came off the 200-day and Walmart may look okay. And even Oxy's not even that bad compared to Chevron. But you know what? Chevron, to me, is emblematic of something larger. I actually was told that it's sovereign wealth funds overseas more, and then money managers follow. That's usually it. The sharp guys sell first, then sovereign, and then wealth managers. You know what? Moves like Chevron and JP Morgan, Google, which are still finding no base at this very moment. Even Microsoft, to a degree, has found a base over moving averages. You know, as Coach would say, even the Magnificent Seven are bifurcating. I got that right. So it's Microsoft, right? Acting the best. Google, the worst. Amazon, marginal. Apple, horrible. You know what I mean? The video. Let's finish the list. It's going to break 400. No? Believe me, you know, he flipped that thing upside down. If you flip that chart, you know, there was I think I follow it on my Twitter feed. Flip that chart upside down, especially with the stock breaking down here and consolidating with low volume. It's what you want. You know, if it was capitulating and had more volume, like I said, I liked how Amazon had that volume into the sell-off to the 200-day. That's why I liked it more. That was going to be my previous point. Apple was just a bleed. It didn't even have, it was just a slow, it was distribution. Amazon, at least sorry for the vernacular, puked the past couple of days. It is what it is. Next. Okay. So I'll go to TradeGATEHub and I'll go over sentiment. I'll go over wise guys. I mean, there's plenty to do. I mean, in terms of trading. I mean, Newell Rubbermaid, for crying out loud, even if you traded these ancillary ones. Newell Rubbermaid, okay? Stock went from 650 to 750. That to me tells me it's a sign of, you know, there's still, I posted before that. I hope I'm on my chart still. Yeah, Newell Rubbermaid. You know what I mean? They're still taking up Chewy. Chewy's now basing as they're selling off Google. So they're taking off, Skechers. Where's Skechers? Look at this freaking range today. 45 to 49. Last night it was 51. I'm playing Skechers like it's freaking Dell Computer, but I'm shorting it 48, shorting it 48, more 49, more 49, 43. Then it topped out at near 50. Maybe it's because the strike price on an option day. The real place to short it, Coach would be telling me, was probably right here to save yourself any money. Hi, Mike. Hi, Lewis. Ask me all you need, kid. 49.15. That's probably that was the easier money if you wanted to try it. Still below the moving averages. Skechers, it's not a barn burner. I trade sometimes these obscure stocks. Short UNH seems good. Lewis, I don't have to look at it. I'm sure it looks good, Lewis. I trust you. Yes, it does. I could see it. Not bad. UNH, let's look at the rest of them. Humana. THC was a THC I wanted to short on a gap up. I don't know where it is. Had earnings either there. THC, nothing. It did have range. UNH looks so. You know what? I think this is why I hope Lewis brought up UNH for this very reason, because as I previously dissertated. Yeah, it's all good, Paul. Lewis is thinking more macro. When I bring up JP Morgan, when I bring up Apple, when I bring up Google, when I bring up Chevron, Lewis knows that UNH is part of that bigger Magnificent Seven. So even though there might be other stocks in the group, it's good. You know what, Lewis? That's a pretty freaking good idea. And there's the RSI. Not bad, Lewis. A good idea. I mean, it's stronger than a lot of the previous ones to break down, but I understand your thinking. Advanced thinking. Paul, good to join you. Hope we're okay. PayPal bullish. Chevron. Let's look what's moving now. Let's get to the freaking action before I show my screen. Okay, let's look today. It's going to be Nerds. Nerds is up. Look at Decker. I mentioned it. Deckers. cough. Intel, what a move. Intel, and same thing as Amazon. It's the same chart. Same chart. They puked it. Look at this. It's incredible now. Amazon, I'm like a doctor looking at Amazon, same chart. Intel, same chart. As a matter of fact, Intel's above the 50-day. Intel needs rest. I like the semis. If the market's going to bounce, they'll lead. Amazon yet to be determined. You know, it has the coach would say, everybody would say it's got a gap. It's actually part of the, you know, I don't know. I don't care for it. You know what I'm taking? You know what? I'm hearing Qualcomm. I'm hearing the buying Qualcomm. I'm not in it. I'm not going to do it, but they are. Don't kill the messenger. So Intel, looking. The bottom line is Microsoft. So let's look at what's going on again. Decker, Zixi, not interested. Nerds Wallet. Why? Because Amazon had a good number. Isn't it Nerd Wallet? Nerds. Look at this thing. This was a favorite. Look at Nerd Wallet. 8 to freaking 21. Right back. It looks like them all of them. IONQ, AAOI, nerds. Now this is the type of situation we have to determine if it's a fundamentals or is it a squeeze. I'm not there yet. I don't, the stock did make a nice move from 660 to 920, 830. Now it goes up 60. Whoa. It's on the radar. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is for me, it goes in not in the penalty box. It's in the it's on the sideline. It's got range price action. Almost, I'll get it. And that's up because of Amazon. I believe nerds. It should be. If not another news, I'll get back to you afterwards. Nerds, DXCM, great number. AMZU, Capital One. I don't trust it. So when I see Capital One into earnings, it's up shorted. I look at Visa breaking down. Visa might be a good one for you in that group as well, Lewis. As well. That's in the UNH Apple group. MasterCard, we go to that one. Same thing. I don't know why this Capital One is up. I know it's a short squeeze stock. I know it's a high credit, high delinquencies. No offense. They even gave me a credit card once. Paul, I'm sure they even gave Paul one once. That's how bad it is. No, I'm being facetious to a degree, but Capital One, you know what I mean? Maybe because of the 100 strike price. I see it's 99. Weekly, I get it. You know what I mean? You're probably going to get it it probably looks okay as a short. If you want to add into it, there's a hedge with the banks. Look at Goldman, the big daddy. And Capital One, how can this go up? Whatever. Keep it in mind. It's like a nerd. It's a nerd wallet. It's with the same situation as nerds with me. All nerds. I'll have to do a little bit more information on nerds. What else? Stanley Works, Beyond Meat. They're squeezing. Ego. Why is Eldorado Gold up? Look at Eldorado Gold. Eldorado Gold out of nowhere. Look at this. Whoa. Eldorado Gold. It gets the highlighter. It's the highlighter. EGO, Lego Myego Gold. How's MUX doing, coach? MUX, they got everybody. They sucked everybody in. Probably did an offering. GOLD. Gonna buy more today. Yep. But the one, it was GFI. Let's look at the GFI. AEM, I punted it yesterday. It was up nicely this morning, pulled back, still a dog. Now, naturally, Newmont had earnings yesterday. Same thing. There was the earnings on Newmont. They blew it out. Probably into option expiration. Let me look at Newmont. I hope I'm on the charts. Let me look at Newmont. Newmont's still range. Look at Newmont. 36 to 38. So I like it. I used to love Newmont. I like the symbol. I like typing it. The letters are close to NEM. Nothing. AU. GFI. Now it's GFI. Now it's Lego Myego. In the first. AUI. Not bad. FSM, coaches one. Usually been right on that too. Gonna have to need more for coach thinking on FSM, but that is going to break into it. If I remember by coach's videos, and you could do that by going to the red YouTube channel shortly. I think this is going down. I think I was bidding 213 for this. I was bidding 213 for this, I think. Coach will remind me. Look at the drives. They're driving down. All right. You know what? It goes on the buy list. It goes on my watch list. FSM, EXK. I'm going through silvers all of a sudden. I don't know why. There's a lot going on. But once you get going, all right, new share. We want to know what's going on here. Screw that. RTO. Let's look at percent gainers intraday. We did that. Let's look at most active day. Ford, most active. Ford is down $1. 8% on Ford. Fucking killing, excuse me. Killing the EVs. Look at Ford. It's over. Ford's naturally, what do we look at? General Motors. At least that one bounced. No, I'm not even going to put it in the fund. LUV, I added. There it is. LUV day after the earnings. Let's see if it doesn't break a new low. I'll see that if it doesn't it's not a barn burner. Now I got to watch a $23 stock as the VIX is pulling back a little bit. So it's going to be a bleed if I'm wrong. I mean, jump up, I need to jump. AMD. All right, let's look at what's moving in the last 15 minutes. We'll leave it off with some action. And then I'll leave off with my screen and then option flow. And then lastly, questions. Gainers in 15 minutes. I hope one's on there for me, baby. Firm. EMPH. Bad sale, Mike V this morning. I traded it. I took nice money in EMPH this morning. Oh, they just rallied them too. Affirm. Market was bouncing. EMPH Carvana ripping. See, the squeeze is happening when I see BYND. Don't be surprised if Carvana happens. EMPH, Mike V trading it today. Buying it where? 81.07 right here. Oh, selling it like 84 at the gap. And then I bought SEDG, which has a little bit more semi in it. SEDG, nice trade, Mike V. They go in groups. SEDG, Mike V. Buying at 77.22, 77.59. Once it broke the opening price, I probably watched it. So I bought it, 77.30, punted at 79. Nice trade. Next. All right, so that's moving. Actually, 60 minutes is too short of term. Let's look with the 15. Let's move at 60 minutes. Percent gainers. Not long anything on here yet, bastards. NOV, oil. They're ripping NOV. Oil producers. Now let's look at the percent losers. Hope no nerds all over the place. Percent losers, 60 minutes. Nevada. It's going to 400. Microsoft pulling, that's a percent gainer, 60 minutes. Thank God. Let's go to percent losers, 60 minutes. All right, none of mine are on there. That's good. All right, option flow. My opinions are irrelevant. It's how I trade what information I see. Okay, Mara earnings, Q's bearish. What is this? Q's bearish. Mara earnings, Intel bearish. That's nothing. It means nothing to me. Q's bearish. Mara Intel. Run. Shorts off and hedge into new lows. They do. ENVX, short selling. It's a battery maker. They're killing it. ENVX. Lithium. Look at ENVX. 25 to freaking 9. You know what? That happens when General Motors and Ford go down and Tesla pulls back. You know what I mean? They sell the whole, then they sell the parts. That's what's happening now. Apple. CTA position tracker. Natural gas, they're underweight. Nickel, zinc, copper. Dr. Copper. They still have some selling to do. Coach knows all about that. I know about this stuff. Gold, even with natty gas. They're even in the crude, even in crude, natty gas. Oil, natural gas. Ooh, look at them. They want no part of it. And it has bounced a little bit. You see when they were underweight, and they were underweight and natural gas was at lows, it ripped. And they still didn't budge. What's it going to take? S&P, they're even. All right, set the sentiment now. Pfizer, Bristol Myers lows. Pfizer, Bristol Myers lows. Let's go to the tape. That could be part of a rotation or a bigger thing. Pfizer and your lows. It's incredible. Bristol Myers. What is going on? I'm surprised my mom's not calling me. 56 to 51 on Bristol. Best of breed. It's in everybody's portfolio. It's going down with JP Morgan. That's part of the crew. That's incredible. Ego, the loser, the past 60 minutes. Now they're selling the ego. Ego top ticked it. Something of mine going up to fuck grinding out loud top games. I gotta go. Yeah, they're taking up Fizzler. They're taking up FedEx. They're taking up none of mine. You bums. All right, I'll leave it there. Any questions? What? Oh, you guys, we got some good participation. Lewis coming out here. Okay. All right, Mike, UNH. All good. I think expiration date for ping pong for currencies. You know what? I think it's the same, Paul, for equities. I do. Short Wells Fargo and buy XLV. Short Wells Fargo. Wouldn't argue. XLV. You have to buy XLV. You know what, Lewis? XLV, what? It's healthcare. What's going on? If healthcare is going, listen, I know it's a democratic situation in America, and I know it's coming up to election time. I get it. But you know what I mean? This is, we're talking about, you know what? He's right. Maybe everything else bounced off the 200-day, and I'm going back to a weekly. So the XLV is coming down. You know, it's a good place for a starter, Lewis. You know what I mean? 122 to 120. FCX. I saw the only I appreciate that, P-Rod. The only type of calls and good calls I was seeing were FCX. SCCO, I don't trust it. I mean, it's SCCO is clear. SCCO couldn't be clearer on a move. I mean, it's for those, I traded the channel. Here's the channel. It's a clear channel. You know, below 69, it's over. Breaks the channel, then it breaks the 200-day, probably even breaks the weekly. Yeah, SCCO, I don't care for. Let's look at the other ones they were trying to go. Look at Reliance, Steel. You want to go to a little bit steels or copper? Let's look at Nucor, MT Steel, the one overseas, nothing. STLD, nothing. More coppers. You know, I don't like it. P-Rod, what do you think? SCCO, I mean, that's clear. Breakout of either trend, it's going to work. The RSI is in the middle for the trend to happen. FCX, I saw some calls. I don't know if that's gold involved. You know that FCX has gold. Actually, FCX, I believe, also has natural gas in it from the takeover of, I forget what it was, then that gas play. It escapes my mind. Good questions, though. And you know why they're good questions? Because they're emblematic of what's going on with the economy, inflation. Chart-wise, they're in play, and that's what we need. And they're very good questions, regardless if my opinion means anything. It should. And you know what? Here's one. I'll show you right now, Percy, if you're on here. Take it for what you will. Speaking of this, VIX action has been the primary. I meant to make a point. Again, what's going on here? Something was on a downer. Liquidity. Spreads not confirming any strength in equities today. Didn't confirm all weakness we saw yesterday either. Alcoa bullish. Big bet. The aluminum maker. November. As I said, VIX action is primary. So watch the VIX. Again, last week, 5,000 calls. November calls. Late November, 25, another 300 dimes. Let's go with the aluminum maker. All right, now, from what is happening here, from what I've been seeing, any type of calls that they've tried to buying on the lows like this have not been working. Lewis and anybody else, even Gerard. You know, when they buy calls up here, it works. When they buy calls down here, it's a hedge. Somebody's buried. So let's keep that in mind. Somebody's buying some calls. I know the weekly on Alcoa. I don't like that. That's not good price action on Alcoa. I don't like the fact that, you know, MasterCard, Whirlpool, Snow, Tesla bouncing, Airbnb. Present losers, 60 minutes. Avatar, Skittles. All right, any other questions? I hope I answered your questions. Okay, ask away, guys. I'll stay on all the time here. But remember, look at those Alcoa calls. And I looked at BTU. They were trying to break out. I punted this CNX, thank God. I know it's a natural gas or energy play, but I punted this CNX and thought it was going to work, and it didn't look great. That's breaking down too. I don't like it. BTU. Now that we're on freaking commodities, BTU went the other way as CNX went the other way. Clifford. What was I going to short then on the rally? Where's Capital One? Did it go to 100 yet? Capital One, not doing anything. Hit the 99.72 in the broadcast. I'll leave it there, guys. P-Rod, you're more than welcome. We're going to have, listen, I said it a bunch of times. We're going to have our guests on. We're going to have Paul on. We're going to have Percy on as a guest. We're going to have Lewis. Gerard, we don't have to show your face. That's fine. As long as you can contribute your high-level opinions, which less is better for you, and I know that. So we'll keep it there, guys. I'll show everything, and it is what it is. Disney. Alcoa. Is that more calls? No, that's not more calls. Let's finish it off at my Twitter feed and see if any people are chirping in. I know one thing, Coach is liking the video. There he goes. So it's TradeGATEHub. Okay, Deckers. Netflix should stay in range. Try to get on this gentleman's site here and accept him. He's the best futures trader, one of the best out there, easily. JP Morgan. There's JP and the boys. We brought it up right through the channel. It's amazing. Google brought in 4. Okay, there's news in 2. Okay, there's 2 minutes to go from Wally. The Google news didn't do anything to it. It's irrelevant. Everybody knows Google's a behemoth anyway. What's the difference? You know what I mean? It's like saying Apple. It's like iPhone sales being down 0.1% for the month. NQ is holding things up. Microsoft especially, but it's precarious. NASDAQ's holding things up. GM may be nearing a deal. GM may be near a deal. Let's see where Europe closes. I'm fast and furious. GM nearing a deal. This is what it did. Okay, this is General Motors bleeding into the news. Everybody knows what's going on with the strike. Here it is. GM for today. The stock's imploding. 27. It can muster up 80 cents. It's how it closes. I wouldn't trust it anyway. It's like saying that there's a truce in the Gaza Strip. I wouldn't trust it going to a weekend. I wish there was. All right, I'll close it here because I'm out of breath. Europe closed and now US on its own. Europe closes, so Europe's closing. Where's my Europe closing? RTX downgraded to sell. How can defense? There's a war going on at the. Yeah, I'm going to start. I don't like the. I don't like the. I don't really go by the feed and everything, but it feels nerds. Amazon. Watch Amazon. The high of the day is what, 130? It's probably going to hang around here. Any other guys? I'll leave it there. You guys good? From all the way to San Diego to Peru, to the pubs of the UK. I'm going to sign off for today. I'll rhyme like Coach does. He loves to rhyme. I think his favorite part of the whole telecast is at the end when he can sing and rhyme. But he does get his point across. So I'll leave it there. Mike Venezia on a late Friday morning. Thank you for tuning in all week. I'll take all questions. I will be here. Don't count your pips, count your blessings. If I'll go into the Forex category, and you should. Why? Because Tradeview Markets has the lowest spreads, tightest spreads, and the lowest fees out there. And believe me, we're only part of a small part of TradeGATEHub. Poke around here. We're behemoth. We're getting bigger. That's why I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, and neither is TradeGATEHub. Cheers. Have a good week.